All right, hey there. Welcome to my fourth video for the new blog from Train Rugged. And today I am here to talk to you about this muscle called the serratus anterior. So the serratus anterior is something we never hear about. We're never doing repetitions of a movement for the sake of strengthening the serratus anterior. And I think it's a crucial set of muscles that we want to make sure that we're working to activate, engage, and bring awareness to. So my intention behind today's video is to give you two exercises that are going to help bring awareness for you to this set of muscles. So your serratus anterior, it originates from inside of your shoulder blade, and then it attaches along ribs 1 through 9, all right? So it takes up a fair amount of space on your rib cage, and it has three primary functions. One of the functions is it helps to keep your shoulder blades close to your rib cage. All right, so it essentially tries to keep the two like almost married together. Another one of the functions of the serratus anterior is it assists in bringing the shoulders forward. All right, and then one of the last things that it helps to do is it helps to expand and elevate the rib cage, and that's helpful for respiratory functioning. So if you're looking to breathe better, or just have more efficient breathing when performing physical activity, any sort of awareness and activation that you can bring to the serratus anterior is going to make that much better. So one of the reasons I thought it was important to teach people about the serratus anterior is a lot of people get shoulder injuries, neck injuries, and low back injuries when they're doing something as simple as lifting their arms over their head. Now, the tendency when the arms go over the head, or whenever you place any sort of load onto the shoulder girdle and the rotator cuff, the tendency is the low back arches. Sometimes the head goes forward. All right, so there can be pinching up here, there can be pinching in the shoulder, or there can be a lot of compression and jamming happening on the low back vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae. So again, I'm going to give you two exercises. These exercises are great to do any day that you're going to be loading your upper body, whether it's your shoulders overhead or it's something as simple as yoga or a plank. All right, and then it's also really good. Like if you have a rest day and you're not working out, but maybe you're a little achy in your shoulders, this is a great exercise to incorporate into a weekly routine. So yeah, apart from that, let's get started on the movements. So all you need a block, or a short foam roller will also work, and you need a wall. So I'm going to take the block the second widest way. All right, and I'm going to step over to my wall, and I like to measure about a foot away. So from here, I'm going to essentially come to a forearm plank, all right? I want my elbows a little bit higher than my shoulders, a soft bend in my knees, and this is where we're going to start bringing some awareness to our serratus anterior. So I'm going to take an inhale and an exhale. Now on each exhale, I'm squeezing the block a little bit more, and on each inhale, I'm breathing laterally into my armpits, and I think about pressing back. And that way there's no stress on the shoulder. Now after I've done about 3 to 6 breaths, I'm going to do Y's. And what I mean is, on an inhale, you're going to smear your elbows up, and on an exhale, you're going to drag them to the center. I'm keeping my forearms on the wall the entire time, and I'm trying to keep my shoulders over my hips, over my ankles. So a common fault is people will go towards the wall, but you want to keep your distance the entire time. I'm not doing anything deliberate with my pelvis. I'm not scooping it under. I'm trying to have a relaxed low back and a relaxed pelvis. The last thing you'll notice is the space between my collarbone and ear bones is very pronounced. When you smear your elbows up, you do not want to shrug, all right? You want to keep it down, and all you're doing is pressing out. All right, so that's the first exercise, okay? Second exercise we're going to do, my intention here is I want you to have a better sense of something I call rib control. And rib control is basically learning to keep our ribs in. And because the serratus anterior attaches from the inside of the scapula to the rib cage, it can actually assist in helping you keep your ribs in your body when you're overhead. So for example, if your arms are here versus here, where the rib cage escapes and you jam the back and you jam the neck. So all I want you to do for this next exercise, you keep that block between your thighs. This is going to help to activate my adductors and my lower belly and my lower body, okay? So step one is you go to a quarter squat, all right? Now I want to make sure I have a natural arch on my low back. So a lot of times people are going to tuck here, but like I said, I want an anterior tilt. Okay, so there's space in my low back. Now, I want the back of my head pressing back. And if you have trouble with this, a lot of guys or people are going to get stuck here. You just put a towel or a blanket or something behind you so you can keep the back of the neck spacious. Now I'm going to take a few breaths here, and on each exhale, I'm going to squeeze the block, and I'm going to get my belly button to actually push my spine back without tucking my pelvis under. So watch, I'll do about 3 breaths. One more. So I have my spine against the wall. I'm squeezing the block. The last piece, on an inhale, I'm going to start to reach my arms up. My spine doesn't come off the wall. As soon as my thumbs hit, I hold for a second, and then I come back down on an exhale. Now I'm shaking a little bit because this is hard to do. And what's great is my low back and my neck is staying neutral. And my serratus anterior is assisting in lifting my arms and expanding my rib cage. And then you take a rest. All right. So this is going to help improve the stability of that scapula. Okay, so your scapular stability is going to get much better, and then your rib cage mobility is also going to improve. All right, so the freedom and movement of the ribs. And my hope is that if you do this either before loading the upper body or loading the shoulders, eventually you're going to like neurologically teach these muscles, these serratus anterior, how to fire so that when your arms go up, your ribs stay down, and there's no compression in the shoulder area, the neck, or the low back. All right? So if we can create more muscular recruitment using the serratus anterior, there's going to be less likelihood of pain in the shoulder and neck, because if we're not warming up the serratus anterior, we have less stability of the shoulder girdle. And I want you to take away from this is that the rib cage is a stabilizer of the shoulder. It assists in stabilizing the rotator cuff. So yeah, it's a great exercise to start to do. I don't think you're going to necessarily just feel it, like you're not going to feel it like you would a bicep curl, for example. But if you can bring this subtle awareness to your serratus anterior, you're going to notice improved functioning of your breathing. You're going to notice that you start to get a little bit more freedom and mobility in your rib cage, and that scapular stability is going to go up, which is going to probably lead to less neck, low back, and shoulder impingements when either doing load-bearing exercises over the head, or any sort of yoga, planks, bodyweight movements that involve the upper body. So give it a try, give me some feedback, and thanks for watching.